Welcome to our pitch presentation for our game concept titled Sustain. Outlined in the brief, we knew that there were some main considerations we had to include in the game loop. The main two that shaped the design concept were the game lasting no longer than 5 minutes, and it must include meta progression in order to keep the players engaged. Our concept is a single-player, wave-based tower defense game set in an alien world. The game will be played on PC, keyboard and mouse, and have a fixed isometric perspective. Players are part of a space mining company that have found a valuable resource on a planet inhabited by alien hordes. As the ship lands on the surface and drills for valuable material, players must gather resources to upgrade the ship's weapons, crew, in order to protect the mining ship from the incoming alien hordes until the mining process is complete. Our game broken down into its core mechanics are tower defense, players must defend their ship against waves of enemies; resource gathering, players are required to collect resources between enemy waves; an upgrade system, players can use gathered resources to upgrade weapons and defenses; and time constraints, time between enemy waves gets exponentially shorter, adding a sense of urgency, decision making and risk. If the player survives the 5-minute runtime, they'll be given a chance to keep one of the upgrades they invested in, giving the player a permanent boost. However, with every boost, the difficulty of the enemies will also increase exponentially with every run. If the player is not so fortunate to survive a wave, they will lose everything they perceived previously gained and start the run again with a brand new ship and crew ready to receive upgrades. The alien world our game will be set in is a mixed nuclear fallout swampland to convey a sense of fear and unrest in the players. Some of our main inspirations for this was the glowing sea in Fallout, as well as Savathun's throne world in Destiny 2's The Witch Queen DLC. Due to our environment design being heavily influenced by swamplands, the enemies the player will face are designed to fit within the environment, taking heavy inspiration from swamp and deep sea creatures. The enemy models were blocked out in Blender. They were designed in a way in order to smoothly work with Mixamo for our animations. The player's main hub of control during each run will be their mining ship. When coming up with the concepts for the ship art, most of the inspiration was taken from lots of different forms of media to create an utilitarian, brutalistic aesthetic. The ship design itself is made up of very blocky shapes and is designed to encompass the drill to mine into its tower-like shape. Here are some work in progress images we have of the camera set up in Unreal and the large enemy model in ZBrush. Using basic grey box environment art and basic Unreal models, we outlined what an in-game scene could look like with UI elements in place. The concept itself will be developed in Unreal Engine, as that's where our team's strengths lie. This will allow us to quickly prototype the game in early stages, allowing us to identify if the concept is fun. Our choices of software can be justified as they are industry standard, and using these will give our team experience in the softwares for the future. We would like to aim our game towards those that enjoy strategy games. The upgrade system, meta progression, and resource management allow players to plan and strategize their every move. Sustain's short game loop allows players who do not have much time to dedicate to playing games. It gives them the freedom to put down the game at any point after they finish their run. We've looked at tower defense games such as Defense Grid 2, Kingdom, Thronefall, Bloons, and Plants vs Zombies as inspiration, as well as Age of Empires series and Polytopia as classic examples of isometric perspective games. Our inspiration comes from games like Clash of Clans, For the King, and the Warhammer series. This is a preliminary outline of what development would look like. It will undergo further detailing before Phase 2 starts, as we will have a better understanding of what assets will be needed, which will allow for better estimations on how long tasks will take. Phase 1 is for establishing the core fundamentals. While it may appear very structured, the framework is very loose to allow for quick adaptations, as issues could emerge and the concept can change very quickly. Phase 2's empty spaces in the latter weeks are deliberately planned in case of tasks running over or any unforeseen risks arising. Phase 3 is reserved for QA testing and shipping. Our minimum viable product represents the earliest version of the game that includes the core features and functionalities needed to provide the players with an enjoyable experience. In terms of additional milestones beyond the original MVP target, the main goals we gave for our game is an improved environment asset to enhance the visual atmosphere of the game, an endless mode with basic level procedural generation which is currently in progress, and a max level upgrade consisting of a considerable upgrade that affects both the chosen upgrade and the enemy difficulty. This is a breakdown of our team members and roles. All of our team members have worked in some capacity previously, from successful student projects, 2 separate DARE 2023 Academy finalist teams, one of which being the winner of DARE 2023. Thank you for listening to our pitch. We look forward to your feedback.